I start cooking when my husband leaves work, giving myself 30 minutes on the clock. Tonight we're having rice bowls with meat candies and I cannot talk. I give up.
You can do it!
I don't know if I can do it. Tonight we're having rice bowls with meat candies and a side of soy green beans. Let's see if I can beat the clock. One of my favorite things growing up was going to our local Chinese restaurant, and they had these soy green beans. I still think about them. This is gonna be my take on those. 1 bag of petite whole green beans. These are gonna be great. Yes, they're a little freezer burnt. They're left over from last summer, but we're cleaning stuff out. On these, we're just gonna do a little mixture of coconut aminos. I'm gonna have some coconut aminos in my meat mixture, so I wanna have that same flavor on my green beans. This is just a little bit less salty than soy sauce, and I am still gonna use a little soy sauce because I want that traditional soy flavor. You can skip the soy sauce if that doesn't work for your diet and just do the coconut aminos. They're a great alternative. A little zhuzh of olive oil on here. I'm just gonna use my hands, way easier. I just want that soy green bean baked flavor. I'm sure that those were steamed and then finished with soy sauce, but I think baking these is gonna be phenomenal with our meat candies. 400-degree oven for every bit of 25 minutes. We'll check them throughout. Before I touch raw meat, we're gonna get everything else in this bowl, starting with our onion. I should be more prepared. Trying to beat a clock, should be way more prepared. Have a Vidalia onion here, half of a onion. She's punchy. She's punching me right in the face right now. Wow, that's so not small enough. Do it finer dices than what I just did, but we'll survive. Adding in about a tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic, a tablespoon of ginger. You can use fresh ginger. Maybe let's go a half a tablespoon of ginger. I don't want to overdo it. Worcestershire sauce, as much as your heart desires. For your coconut aminos, I'd say somewhere between a half of a tablespoon and 1 tablespoon. And then just a dash of soy. Not much. Salty, salty, salty. So I'm not adding more salt, but let's add some crushed, some fresh cracked black pepper. In all of my meatballs, other than this, I use stovetop stuffing. Stovetop stuffing mix is not the right flavor profile for what we're going for tonight, so I'm just gonna take 3 to 4 pieces of bread and we're gonna cube this up really small. Roughly that size piece. What is that, a quarter, half inch, something like that? And I want everything to be evenly combined. So do take some time here. Make sure you get the garlic and ginger all throughout. Immediately the smell of this is so good. It's gonna be so good with those green beans. 1 pound of ground beef, thawed. Stir in your ground beef just to get everything well combined. You don't want to over stir, over mix this, but you do want to make sure that everything is nice and incorporated. Wash your hands. Parchment lined baking sheet. And this is a 1-inch scoop. I like the smaller one for these meat candies. I used to measure them out. I was a little neurotic. No way. That was before this channel. I told you guys you're my therapy, right? And so, you know, I used to be really neurotic and I would measure these out to be 1 ounce evenly. Not doing that anymore. We don't have that kind of time. We're just doing roughly 1-inch piece. Get them laid out. I'll come back and I'll tell you what to do next. I think I was supposed to add an egg. We're gonna try them without eggs tonight, and I guess we're gonna see how they go. I'll do eggs next time. 30 little balls. They come together so fast. This does not take any time at all. I'm gonna give you the confidence right now to say that this is an appropriate weeknight meal. Should not be intimidating. You can tackle this one on a weeknight. On a school night, kids. Wash my hands and put this in the oven. These are gonna go into a 400-degree oven for 14 minutes. Those green beans are literally smelling just like what I remember. The last thing that we have to do is get our rice going. Toast this up. I will add 2 cups of water, a little bit of salt, and then just steam it for about 20 minutes, and this will be ready right when they walk in the door. Let's check our green beans. These smell so yummy. My grandpa hated green beans, so when I was growing up, I would go visit him in long-term care in the hospital, and I would eat his green beans. And every time that I have green beans, I think about my grandpa Elmer. The coconut aminos are just the slightest bit sweet. There's this tiny bit of sweetness on this, and then the soy sauce is so savory. They're still kind of crunchy. I'm gonna pop them back in on the top shelf so they can maybe crisp up a little bit on top. My rice is boiling, but I just wanted to show you guys how I do this. I give it one final stir before I put my tight-fitting lid on. And my lids don't fit tight because of these little divots that are right here on the side. Really nice to pour out of these containers, but because of that, I use tin foil. It's my tight-fitting lid. It's a great hack. With rice, really important, put that lid on, set it to simmer, and then forget about it for 20 minutes. Oh, we have one more thing to make. The star of the show tonight is the sriracha aioli, but I add sour cream to it, so it's probably not a true aioli. Spicy cream sauce. A 1/4 cup of sour cream, I think it adds a perfect tang with everything else that's going on. About a half a cup of mayonnaise of your choice. These are those coconut aminos again. This lid's all messed up. About a teaspoon. Sriracha to taste. Add as much sriracha as you like. We like it pretty spicy, so I'm gonna do about a tablespoon and a half. Stir. Perfect. A little bit more sriracha. All right there, that's the stuff. It's the secret sauce. Still doing really good on time. Those look perfect. I actually don't hate that the onions are a little bit bigger. I don't hate that at all. These are perfect. Okay, let's plate it up. Check out those green beans. Yum, these look so good. All that I'm doing to serve this is putting the rice on the bottom with a few of those meat candies. Green beans on the side, they're home, so we beat the clock technically. And then a little bit of this sriracha aioli right on top. I'll come back for the bite. I'm gonna go give my family a kiss and a hug because they're home for the day. Everybody else is already well into their dinner, so I'm gonna get a bite finally. This thing's still piping hot. With a bean. These beans remind me so much of that Chinese restaurant beans. They're so good.